President Bola Tinubu on Tuesday declared that Nigeria's prosperity is inseparable from the future of northern Nigeria, stressing that the region holds the key to the country's industrialization drive. Represented by the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edu, speaking at the Nigeria Investment and Industrialization Summit 2025 in Abuja, the president said his administration had prioritized critical industrialization projects in the region. Arise News analyst Sobowale joins us now to discuss this statement by the president and the need to address challenges in the zone to put it in a better position to contribute to national growth and prosperity. Mr. Sobowale, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsday.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure being here. See you.
So, do you agree with the president that Nigeria's prosperity is tied to the North's future and that the North is the engine of the country?
Well, it is an ambiguous statement, subject to many interpretations. And I'm sure it will be misinterpreted in the North as saying that the North is indispensable for the prosperity of Nigeria. I don't buy that. The interpretation I want to give it is that the North must buck up to catch up with the rest of the country, such that it does not hold back the envisaged prosperity if it is developed as it is expected to. Education is the, how do I put it, the albatross of the North, and they know it. And successive leaders from the North have been in power more than from the South. You get me? So they had the power and the engine then, or to make the engine work well to serve their people. But now the statistics are dismal on the level of education in the North. The North has the highest out-of-school children in the world. The North is plagued by jihadism, climate horrors from the Sahel, given the geography of the place. But the leaders are more interested in, how do I put it, trying to rely on the center. I think they got a mistaken notion that since the capital was moved to Abuja, power belongs to the North. Whereas those who put the capital in the North were trying to create a center, a federal structure, so that the North could belong. But you see, if the president now says the prosperity of the nation is linked to the North, it is a challenge to the North to buck up and live up to his leadership responsibility to develop his environment and to create security. Because security, you can't have anything where you don't have security. The security is the bane of the security and education. Both are the bane of the development of the North. And until the leaders localize development, you know, we once had globalization, then later we had localization. So that bring change into your environment, your own environment. Don't depend on Abuja or some IMF loan and things like that. The situation in the North, in terms of education, is very, very bad, and it's holding back the rest of the country in terms of economic development and infrastructural development and social development. So it's a leadership problem. Let them address that, no matter what the president says. Yeah.
So we were just watching a report from our business correspondent, and he talked about how groundnuts were a big source of output in the North. I know textiles as well used to be a big source of output in the North. You mentioned the move to Abuja, but what really happened to the industries that used to be robust?
You see, the economic vicissitudes closed them down. Then the Naira, the depreciation of the Naira made a mess of our agriculture. You see, what you are referring to, we used to have the pyramid, Dano pyramids. You are exporting all these things, and you are making money until the IMF, in their wisdom, financial wisdom, said the Naira was overvalued, and then we have been on the downward. Before, there was a time when the Naira was at par with the pound sterling, That was the time. But you see, the IMF cannot wash its hands off our problems because they brought what they call the structural adjustment program. Which means they cut, you are trying us to balance our budget, to balance our economic hopes with what we have on the ground. You get me? But you see, you have since discovered you don't manage an economy the way you manage an household. You can borrow money in an economy as long as the deficit, you get me, is used for productive purposes, infrastructural development. They don't yield dividends in one day on the long term. But this IMF, and they are still at it, I will always hold them responsible. No, not only them, we have leadership crisis, we have military intervention, you get me, which affected our 5-year development plans. We used to have 5-year development plans, but you see, they are all, we have to be found now. We live on the advice and directives of the IMF. Yes.
Arise News analyst, Mr. Sobowale, thank you so much for joining us on Newsday.